Good afternoon to Ananda. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend a warm and cordial welcome to this online ATAL Faculty Development Program organized by Department of Computer Application, Congo Arts and Science College. On behalf of our department, I feel honored to welcome our esteemed correspondent, respected principal, and our resource person, Dr. S. Balakrishnan sir. Also, I extend my warm welcome to all the faculty members who have joined us from different institutions eagerly waiting to attend the FDP. Once again, I welcome you all. Now, it's my privilege to introduce today's esteemed resource person, Dr. S. Balakrishnan sir, Professor and Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Arbade Veedu Institute of Technology, Chennai. He has 23 years of experience in teaching, research, and administration. He has published over 39 books, 10 book chapters, 30 technical articles in CSI magazine, 27 technical blogs, 20 articles, and over 150 plus publication in highly cited journals and conference. He has completed 2 funded projects under DST Tide and CSIR scheme in AI applications. Some of his professional awards includes Iconic Teachers in Research Award, Best Patent Award, Certificate of Award with cash prize $250 for first prize in the International Poster Challenger by PRF. Kalpa Acharya Award, AICTE Award with 1 lakh cash prize, Best Performer in the Poster Display at IIC Regional Meet, Best Model Presentation Award by IEEE, Yuva Mentor as a Change Maker Award, International Data Science Writer of the Year 2019 with cash prize $900, MTC Global Outstanding Researcher Award, Deloitte Innovation Award for Smart India Hackathon 2018. And he acted as a mentor, evaluator, cum jury panel member, grand finale of SIH 2022 and Marathon, mentor and jury member in Asian Indian Hackathon 2021. He has received appreciation certificate for developing SIH Alumni Portal and SIH 2022 Portal for Ministry Education's Innovation Cell by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India and MHRD Innovation Cell. He has delivered 85 plus guest lectures, seminar in national and international level, delivered 20 plus keynote speech, invited speech, and chaired 350 plus session for various national and international conference. He is serving as a reviewer and editorial board member of many reputed journals and acted as technical program committee member of national conference and international conference at Vietnam, China, America, and Bangkok. His research interests are artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and IoT. He has delivered various guest lectures under AI application in power grid application. He has acted as mentor in prestigious India AI Fellowship under the India AI missions with fellowship grant of rupees 1 lakh. And he acted as a mentor in Kavach 2023 Hackathon title winner with 1 lakh cash prize, mentor in Smart India Hackathon 2020 title winner with 1 lakh cash prize. He has 11 granted international patents, 42 Indian patents on IoT application, 20 design patents, and 3 granted copyrights. He has been appreciated under India Book of Records 2021 for filling 18 patents over a period of 15 months. He is acting as an author at IEEE Teaching Excellence Hub, IEEE EduMentor Connect Program Mentor, IEEE 2023 Publicity Ambassador, IEEE TV Region 10 Global Ambassador, IEEE Brand Ambassador, IEEE Publicity Ambassador. Now, with a great respect, I request our resource person to share his valuable insight with us. I handed over the session to Dr. Balakrishnan sir. Sir, the session is yours.
Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much for your nice introduction. So,
Thank you, sir.
yeah. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
The screen is visible?
Not yet, sir.
What about now? Are you able
Yes,
to
sir.
see?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So, good afternoon to one and all present here. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this faculty development program on a topic that's reshaping the very fabric of modern academia. So, integrating generative AI into the scholarly research practices. So, as educators, researchers, and knowledge creators, we stand at the intersection of traditional as well as the transformations. So the rise of generative AI, particularly tools like ChatGPT, Tally, and various large language and vision model, has introduced new possibilities in how we approach, in terms of literature review, data interpretation, scientific writing, ideation, and even peer review. So today, we are not just observing the technological change, we are active participant in a research revolution. So generative AI is no longer a novelty. It's an instrument that can augment the human intelligence and accelerate the discovery and democratize the access to scholarly insights and so on. So, however, with such transformative power also comes the responsibility to use these tools in some ethically or transparently and effectively. So this session, so next one and a half hours, this session aims to explore the practical integration of generative AI in the entire research life cycle, from hypothesis generation and literature mapping to the content creation, coding, simulation, and publication, and so on. So we will discuss how AI can support early stage ideation and hypothesis formulation, then methods for automating the repetitive research tasks like formatting, reference management, and summarization, and so on. So the opportunities for AI-assisted academic writing and visual data generation, and importantly, the ethical considerations it includes authorship, bias, and research integrity, and so on. So this FTP is designed not only to inform but also to equip you with the hands-on strategies for responsibly leveraging the generative AI in your research workflow. So with this introduction, just I will start my session. Are you able to see the second slide?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the next, actually, this session will going to discuss about the introduction to generative AI and generative AI tools, very particularly for the researchers, and AI in research idea generation and problem formulation and the data collections and pre-processing with the AI. Then next, automating the research writing with the generative AI in plagiarism detection and academic integrity, and the generative AI in the peer review and the publication process. And next, what are the challenges and the limitations and bias in whenever we focus about the generative AI. And finally, we will going to discuss about some case studies and demonstrations and future directions and what are the best practices to be followed while using generative AI, very particularly for a research-oriented activity, and finally conclude the session. So this is an overview of today's session. So I start first, actually, the introduction to generative AI. So whenever we talk about the generative AI, we know it's generative AI is a transformative branch of artificial intelligence that mainly focus on creating the new content, be it the content may be a text, or it may be images, or it may be audio, video, or even any kind of synthetic data that based on the learned patterns from the existing data. So unlike the traditional AI, the models that primarily classify, actually it's traditional AI mainly focus on the classification, prediction, and analyzing the things. But the generative AI model are capable of the product producing the original output that closely resemble the human created content. So at the heart of generative AI, these are the foundations model like we know the LLM, that's a large language model and a diffusion model and so on. So the tools like ChatGPT, Tally, and Claude, Gemini, and the Midjourney are some of the examples of the model in action. So these systems, these tools are trained on the vast data sets, and we use a deep learning technique, particularly the transformers, to understand the context, generate the fluent language, and or create the realistic imaginary like that. So the main key characteristics of this generative AI, we know, is the creativity at scale. So the creativity at scale is nothing but it generates the human-like text, designs, some kind of coding or images with minimal input like that. Second thing is context awareness. So the context awareness is nothing but it all the way it maintains the coherence over the long form content and adapt to prompt. So that's a second important thing, awareness. And third characteristics of generative AI is a multimodal capability. So the multimodal capability is nothing but it can work across the different data types, like combining the text with images or text with speech and so on. So some of the popular applications, whenever we talk about the academic-oriented research, the major applications based on the generative AI is the first one is the academic writing assistance. So all the way the academic writing assistant, it's summarizing the papers, generating the abstract, and even refining the languages. That's a very, very important thing. And second applications related to the research area is nothing but the literature review automation. So literature review automation is nothing but in that cases, it quickly extracting a key points from the vast bodies of research content. And third one is the code generation and debugging. So code generation and debugging it's mainly for assisting in programming for the research prototypes. And next application is data augmentation. So the data augmentation is all the way creating the synthetic data for training models or any kind of simulations and so on. And the next application is design and visualization. So the design and visualization is nothing but it all the way generate the diagrams, chart, and some kind of scientific illustrations and so on. So why it matters? I actually, whenever we talk about the generative AI, the main important thing, the generative AI has the potential to enhance the productivity, accelerate the innovations, and democratize the access to the advanced tools. So that's why whenever we talk about the generative AI, it brings some challenges. The challenges may be the questions around the authorship and plagiarism, a risk of misinformations or some kind of fact. The fact is not really happened, and the need for ethical guidance and academic integrity and so on. So the evaluation and milestone in artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence, we know that whenever we started the stored program concept in the year 1950, the first generation itself, the AI concept has arisen. So the AI has evolved from a theoretical concept into the powerful technological force transforming the nearly every aspect of human life. So it's a journey that spanned the decades of innovations marked by the significant breakthrough in computing, data science, as well as the cognitive modeling. So the first one, the early foundations, the 1940s and 1950s. So whenever we started the 1950, the first generation computer itself, that's a stored program concept itself, the first the AI concept has arisen. So in the 1956, the term AI term was coined by the John McCarthy. So the marking actually it's a formal birth of AI as a field like that. But the second evaluation of generation is the rule-based systems or early progress is the 1956 to 1970. So during that time only AI and expert system concept has arisen. So mainly in this era, the AI is mainly focused on logic, problem solving, and some kind of game playing and so on. So the third is the AI window in 1970s and late 1980s. So in that cases, the AI windows reflected the some kind of AI capability that has arisen in that era. And the second, fourth generation is in 1980s to 1990s. It's a rise of machine learning. So in that cases, actually here the shift from rule-based system to learning-based approaches. So that's why we come up with a different machine learning algorithm like supervised and unsupervised and semi-reinforcement, semi-supervised algorithm and so on. So next is the fifth generation is the deep learning and big data era. That's the 2010 to present. So in that cases, with the availability of big data, the GPUs and improved algorithm, the AI experienced the exponential growth. So the exponential growth of AI is happened only in that era, fifth generation. That's a deep learning and the big data era. Then after that, this is a milestone in the generative AI and the foundational model is in the 2020s. So in that case, the emergence of transformer-based model like the PERT and GPT changed the landscape of that NLP, that's a natural language processing. So in that case, the launch of ChatGPT, Tally, Midjourney, and other generative AI tools that marked a shift toward a creative and cognitive AI and so on. And the next, the current trends and future outlook is nothing but in that cases. Actually, we all the way we integrated AI in the healthcare, education, finance, some kind of autonomous system, and even the climate modeling and so on. So that's why the rapid growth in ethical AI, like the explainable AI and AI governance. So the future AI is expected to be a more context-aware and personalized and even energy efficient with the rise of edge AI and the quantum AI and so on. So that's why from the theoretical, from the early foundation, 1940 to 1950, from the theoretical model to the real world application, the evaluation of AI has been marked by both the challenges and the revolutionary breakthrough. So today, the AI stands at the forefront of the innovation, reshaping the industries, research, and the society, and more. So that's the thing. And the next overview of the generative model. So the overview of generative model, it's nothing but it's a class of AI, a model that can learn the patterns from the data and generate the new content that resemble the original data sets like that. So unlike a discriminative model that classify or predict a generative model that mainly focus on creating the data, whether it's a text or image or audio or even any kind of coding or anything. So that's why these models have become increasingly sophisticated with the advent of deep learning and transformer architecture that mainly leading to the development of groundbreaking system like GPT, Tally, and PERT model and so on. So the first generative model is a GPT, that's a generative pre-trained transformer. Actually, it's developed by OpenAI. The main purpose of this model, main purpose of this GPT is it's mainly for the text generation and understanding. So the text generation and understanding. So that's why this GPT is a family of large language model trained on the massive data sets for predicting on the next word of the sequence and so on. So in that cases, we are using the GPT-3, GPT-4. It can generate the coherent and contextually relevant paragraph, answer the questions, and write the essays, coding, and more. So that's why all the way the users the transformer architecture and it's auto-regressive the meaning it predict the future tokens based on the previous ones and so on. So the applications of GPT is nothing but it's start with the some kind of conversational agent like ChatGPT, then automated writing and summarization, code generation. Code generation is happening via the Codex is a platform and the language translation. So these are some of the applications of GPT, generative pre-trained model. And that's a thing, automated coding and code generation, language translation. And the next one is the PERT model. PERT is a bidirectional encoder representations from the transformer. It's actually this system, this platform is developed by the Google AI. The main purpose of this PERT is the understanding the text through the bidirectional context. So the PERT is mainly designed for the natural language understanding, NLU, rather than the generation of the data generation or whatever it may be. So unlike the GPT, or the PERT uses the bidirectional transformer, which reads a text both left to right and right to left manner to understand the context more deeply. So that's a very, very important. Normally, usually, whenever we go for scanning or any compilation, it is happening in the left to right manner. But in the PERT model, that's why it's called as a bidirectional model. This model, all the way the scanning will be happening in the two way, left to right and right to left. So based on that left to right and right to left, we will get the what is the exact output. So the more deeply and more accurate output we are getting it with the help of the PERT model. So that's why most of the research is whenever you go for the research related to generative AI, they are using the PERT model. So here the fine-tuned for the task like the questions answering, sentiment analysis, and entire recognition and so on. So that's about the thing. And the next, the applications of the PERT model is the search engines. So search engines like usually the Google search mainly uses the PERT model. And the second applications related to PERT is the text classification. And third one is all the way the information retrieval also happening with the help of the PERT. And the next, the question answering system. So these are the applications related to PERT model. And the next third model is the TALI. Actually, the TALI is also developed by the OpenAI. So the main purpose of the TALI is nothing but here, so far we talk about the text only, but this TALI mainly for generation of image generation from the text prompt. So that's why the TALI is a text to image generative model that create the detailed realistic images from the natural language descriptions. So all the way it combine the language and visions using the transformer based architecture, and it's mainly capable of creative visualizations such as an astronaut riding a course in a futuristic city and so on. So the main applications of TALI is nothing but it's converting the text to image. So automatically the graphic design and the content creation is applications of TALI. And second is the all kind of educational illustration is happening with the help of TALI, and the advertising and storytelling. And then the final application is art and concept visualization. So these are the applications belongs to TALI. And other notable generative models, like the first model is a stable diffusion. Diffusion is another model. So this is an open source model. The stable diffusion is an open source image generation model, mainly using the diffusion technique. And second, next more notable generative model is a Claude, that's a Anthropic. And the Gemini is we know about the Gemini, it's a Google DeepMind. And the LLAMA is a meta model. So these alternative large language model to the GPT that are mainly offering the strong capability in reasoning, summarization, and safe of all kind of AI interactions like that. And next generative model is a StyleGAN. Actually, it's developed by the NVIDIA. So here we are aware about the generative adversarial network GAN model. The GAN is mainly used for high resolution image synthesis. That is a realistic human faces and so on. And next generative model is a music LM. It's actually implemented by or developed by the Google. So here the AI model that generate the music from the text descriptions and so on. So the key concept behind the generative model, the mainly whenever we talk about any kind of generative model, mainly it having some four key concept. One is the transformer is very important. So the transformer is nothing but actually it's a kind of neural network architecture. It enabling the attention mechanism to handle the long range dependencies. And second concept is the pre-training and fine tuning. So here the models are trained on the general data, and later on it adapted to specific task. That's a pre-trained and fine tuning. And third one is a latent space modeling. So the latent space modeling mainly it's used in the image audio generation mainly for mapping and sampling the complex data distributions. And final concept is the auto recursive or auto encoding. So here this GPT is a auto recursive model that's a predict the next token, and PERT is a auto encoding model that's mask and fill the tokens and like that. So the why generation models matter in the sense here every generative models are making some revolutions industries by automating the content creation, what accelerating the research through the summarization, simulation, and hypothesis generation, and enhancing the education via the personalized content, and even driving some kind of innovation in the art, design, and media, and so on. So that's why the generative model like GPT, Tally, and PERT that represent a major leap in that AI's ability to interact with and create human-like content and so on. So understanding these three model, apart from these three model, other generative model, their capabilities, architecture, and use cases is very essential for every researchers and every educators and even the developers that seeking to harness the AI in an innovative and responsible ways. So that's a very important thing. This is an introduction about the thing. Then what are the importance in academia and research context? So the importance of generative AI in the academia as well as the research context. So here the integration of generative AI into the academic and research ecosystem that marks a significant shift in how the knowledge is created and how the same that knowledge is disseminated and how it can be applied. So that's why these models not just a technological tool, they are becoming a collaborative partner in the research and learning process. That's why the first important is enhancing the research productivity. So whenever we talk about the enhancing research productivity, here the AI, generative AI accelerate the various stages of the research life cycle. The first very important thing is the literature review. That's with the help of this ChatGPT or with the help of the generative AI, that actually the automated literature review is happening. It's mainly for quickly summarize the large volumes of academic paper and identify the relevant citations. It's for our understanding purpose only. And second thing, the second thing is the idea generation. So the idea generation, normally it's happening, it assists in the brainstorming the research questions, some kind of hypothesis and the experiment design and so on. And third thing is the data analysis support. So the data analysis support, it mainly helps with the code generation, data visualization and the interpretation of the complex result and so on. So second important is improving the academic writing and communication. So all the way it generate the draft of research papers, any kind of abstract related to the research paper and the reports with improved clarity and structure. So that's a very important thing with the help of the generative AI. And it offers the grammar corrections, paraphrasing, and summarization tools for the non-native English speakers and so on. And also it enables the creation of the educational content like the presentation, any kind of quizzes or any lecture material and so on. So the third one is the democratizing the access to the advanced tool. So here it makes the AI and the data science accessible to scholars from the non-technical disciplines. So here the enablers, researchers with a limited resource to conduct the high quality work using the open source model and so on. And next importance is accelerating coding and computational work. So whenever we talk about the accelerating coding and computational work here, all the way it generative AI assists the researchers in writing the script for simulations, data processing, and some kind of statistical analysis. So all the way it supports the rapid prototyping in research involving like AI, machine learning, and some kind of software development and so on. And next is the advanced visualization and conceptual modeling. So in that cases, we are using a text to image model. Already we discussed like that Tally or Midjourney or something else. It helps to visualize the complex scientific or a conceptual model like that. And very particularly this advancing visualization and conceptual modeling is mainly useful in the medicine, architecture, engineering, and even some design for the content creations and so on. And next is enabling the personalized education and adaptive learning. So here the AI can tailor learning resources based on the student's level, pace and preferences. So that's why the facility all the way it facilitates the intelligent tutoring system and virtual teaching assistant and so on. And finally, it encouraging the ethical awareness and critical thinking. So actually here it raises the important discussion around the academic integrity that bias in AI outputs, data ethics, and responsible innovation. And also it encourages the institutions to develop the guidelines for ethical AI usage in research and education. So that's why the generative AI is transforming the academic and research practices by reducing the repetitive workload, enhancing the quality and speed, fostering the innovation, and bridging the disciplinary and skill gaps, and so on. So next is generative AI tools for researcher. So in that cases, see, whenever we talk about the what is the generative AI tool for the researchers here, mainly the rapid advancement, rapid advancement of the generative artificial intelligence, generative AI has begun to reshape the landscape of any academic research. So these intelligence system, it's mainly capable of producing the human like text, images, coding, and even some kind of data insights are increasingly being adapted by the researchers to streamline the complex data, spark innovation, and enhance the productivity. So very particularly generative AI tools for the researchers, mainly from the writing assistance and literature reviews to the data visualization, code generation, and academic presentations. So that's why generative AI tools offer a powerful set of capability that support the entire research life cycle like that. So the AI tools for the different tools are there. So we'll see the AI tools for the literature review and summarization. So we know the literature review is a foundational step in a scholarly research, but it's often time consuming and it's a more complex process. So that's why the generative AI tools can assist the researchers by quickly finding the relevant studies or relevant sources and summarizing the key findings and even organize the citations, making the review process faster and more meaningful or more insightful. So some of the most effective AI tools are conducting the literature review and summarizing the research article. The first tool is the Elicit. Actually, the Elicit is it's developed by the art.org. The main function of this tool is actually here the AI research assistant that find and summarize the academic paper based on the research questions. So actually you are aware about that prompt engineering. See, whenever we talk about the generative AI, the prompt engineering is very important. So based on the input, based on the nature of input, we are getting the what are the appropriate output. That's the correctness is very important term. See, whenever we focus about the algorithm efficiency, in that case the correctness is very important term. So the correctness is actually it's applied in that generative AI concept. So whenever we are giving the appropriate, that's the input. So based on the appropriate input only, we are getting the exact output. So that's a kind of prompt engineering. So the main function, the function of the Elicit is the all the way to summarize the thing. So the key features of this Elicit is nothing but answer the queries. Whatever query we are giving, answer the queries using the peer-reviewed sources, extract the study outcome, sample sizes, and methodologies like that. And it's very useful for systematic reviews and evidence synthesis. And second tool is the SciSpace Copilot. Actually, it's formerly typeset.io. So in the main function of this tool is it all the way to help to understand, explain, and summarize the research paper. Like it all the way to highlight the key concept and definitions, translate the complex technical text into the simple language, and AI Q&A feature for any uploaded PDF and so on. So that's very importantly happening. And third AI tool is Scholar AI. That's it's a kind of chat GPT plugin. So in that case, the main function, it all the way it searches and summarize the article from the PubMed and other scholarly databases. So all the way it retrieve the specific papers with the direct summaries and support the natural language queries and integrate with the citation tool and so on. And fourth tool is the Research Rabbit. The main function of Research Rabbit is it's actually visual exploration tool for mainly for tracking the research trends and the connections between the paper. So that's why this Research Rabbit all the way it maps to a co-authorship network and visualize the how the research field evolved and also organize the papers into the thematic theme-wise collections and so on. And fifth tool is the Semantic Scholar. So the main function of Schematic is called it's a AI-powered academic search engine. So this tool mainly summarizes the abstract and highlights the influential citations, and all the way it identify the core contributions of each paper, and it all the way it propose propose related works automatically and so on. And next tool is the lit maps. So the lit maps, the main function of lit maps is track and visualize the research over the time. So the main feature of this lit maps is nothing but it's a kind of a dynamic citation mapping, and it alert for the new publications in our field, and it's ideal for the staying the updated on emerging topic and so on. And the next one is Chat GPT. We know actually it's with the academic prompt. So the main function, it generates the literature summary, compare studies, and assist in note taking and so on. So that's why it can be fine tuned with the domain specific prompt, and all the way it summarizes the upload article using the PDF tools or any kind of plugins or anything. So these are the tools are available very particularly for the literature review and summarization. So just you go through it, and easily you will get actually the prompt is very, very important. So whenever you go for getting some literature review or summarization for the papers, you may make use of these 7 different tools for very particularly for the literature review and summarizations. So next thing is the AI powered citations and reference management. So for that also we are having different tools are there. So here the very important thing is the proper citation and reference management. It's a very essential component of the academic integrity, scholarly writing, and even for the any kind of research organizations. So the traditionally managing the references manually is time consuming, and even it's prone to error some cases. That's why the AI-powered tools are transforming this process by automating citation formatting, and also it propose the relevant sources and organizing the references in the efficient way. So that's why these tools go beyond the strong bibliography. They how leverage the artificial intelligence to enhance the accuracy and also improve the discovery and streamline the research workflow. So the benefits of AI-powered citation tools is mainly for, we know, we are having different citation formats like APA, MLA, or IEEE, SICACO, and so on. So with the help of these kind of tools, it automated citation generations based on the various styles. It's happening with the help of tools and smart recommendations of the related article based on our reference, and even the PDF annotations and note taking for seamless rendering and referencing the things, and even it will indicate the duplicate detections and error correction. See, the most of the people actually the researchers, we are doing the mistakes whenever we are including the references. The same reference will be included. Actually, we included more than one time. It's a repetition. It's a duplicate. So that also detected with the help of the AI-powered citation tool. That's a very, very important thing. And another thing, all the way it collaborate the features for the group research project, and AI-powered summarization of the cited papers in some advanced tools and so on. So some popular tools, the first tool is the Zero plus Zero plus Zetro GPT. So the main the Zetro or Zetro GPT is nothing but it's a kind of open source reference manager with AI extensions. So mainly it saves the references from the web browsers with one click, and the Jatiro GPT integrate the Chat GPT to summarize the stored papers, and also it support the group library and automatic citation mapping or formatting and so on. Second is EndNote. So most of the persons actually aware about the EndNote. It's a Clarivate. Actually, here the main description is the EndNote is nothing but it's a comprehensive reference management software widely used in the academia. The main features of this EndNote is nothing but it act as a AI assisted journal recommendation system, and also manage the full text PDF figures and notes. So that's why it integrate with the Microsoft Word for the seamless in the text citation and so on. So next AI-powered citation tool is Mentally is actually it's powered by the Elsevier. So actually mainly actually this tool is act as a reference manager and academia social network. So that's why all the way it proposed the related papers using AI-based content analysis and AI enhanced tagging and filtering also happening. And mainly it's a desktop and web-based synchronizing is happening. Fourth one is the ref and write. Actually, the ref and write is nothing but it's academic writing assistant with citation support. It offers the sentence template for citing the sources and so on. So next tool is the paper file. Say just all of you make a note of it. These are the tools. Easily you'll just Google it and you'll download the corresponding tools for making it further. So the paper file is nothing but actually it's a kind of web-based reference manager tool tool mainly for what Google Scholars and other things. So in that cases, the main feature is it's a AI powered reference thing and the past PDF upload and tagging. So that's the thing. So the next tool is the connected papers. So the connected paper is it's a kind of visual tool for the literature discovery and the citation mapping. So that's all the way to build a visual graph of the related papers, and it highlights the key citations and the thematic clusters and so on. So next one is a research rabbit. So the research rabbit is also another very important tool. Actually, this tool is it's a kind of a dynamic literature mapping and reference discovery tool. This tool is it's a AI generated visual graphs for tracking the core citations and continuous update feeds on the specific authors or topics, and mainly it's useful for systematic reviews and grant writing and so on. So how that AI enhances the citation workflow in the sense, here it's based on the first one is based on the contextual relevance. That's a very important, based on the context. What kind of context, in what context we are going to give the input. That's a context relevant is very important. And second thing is the real-time integration. And the next one is a smart sorting and the plagiarism avoidance and so on. So that's the thing. That's next the ethical considerations of AI-powered citations under the reference management. That's in that cases. Yeah, actually, here all the way the AI tools are helpful. The researcher must verify all the citations for accuracy. That's a very important thing, and also all the way we have to ensure all sources are peer reviewed and credible and like that. So that's why AI powered citations and reference tools significantly reduce the burden of manual referencing while enhancing the quality and efficiency of scholarly writing and so on. So that's about this. The next thing is a language enhancement and grammar correction tool. So the third important tool is after references, we go with the language content. So the language enhancement and grammar checking, grammar correction tool. So that's also a lot of tools are there. So this actually whenever we go for writing any research paper, the effective academic writing, the demands is mainly the clarity, coherence, and the correctness. So for any researchers or any scholars, especially the non-native English speakers, they are expressing the complex ideas in grammatically accurate and polished language. It can be a challenging one. So that's why here the AI-powered language enhancement tools become invaluable. So here a lot of tools are there. So the first tool, the tool is Grammarly. So everybody know about the Grammarly. So the main purpose of this Grammarly tool is it's act as a real-time grammar, spelling, punctuation, and even the some kind of tone corrections whenever we go for making it. So actually, the main important features of Grammarly is its academic tones. What is it? Instructions will be given, and the style improvement for the clarity and engagement will be there. Citation and plagiarism checking also happening with the help of the Grammarly, and actually it's applicable in that browser or any MS Word or Google document integration and so on. And second tool is a field part. So everybody aware about the quill part. The quill part is it's a kind of paraphrasing and grammar tool with advanced writing features or writing model. So in that cases, a lot of modes are there. First, actually here the AI-based paraphraser with a different tone, like it may be a standard tone, formal tone, fluency, creativity, and so on. So that's why here all the way check the grammar and spell checking and summarizer, and it's act as a citation generator, and mainly it's useful for rewriting the research abstract or simplifying the what are the complex content and so on. And third tool, the language content enhancement tool is the Gemingway editor. So the Gemingway editor is all the way it's improve the writing readability and structure. So the main features is it all the way to highlight the massive voice and complex sentences and grade the readability level and encourage the concise and direct writing and so on. So the next tool is the Pro Writing Aid. So the Pro Writing Aid is it's mainly it's act as an advanced writing assistant. It's mainly focused on academic and long-term content, long-form content. So that's why here in that case the in-depth grammar and the style reports are generated with the help of this one, and all the way check the cliches, passive voice and repetitions and so on. And next thing is a language tool. So the main purpose of the language tool is act as a multilingual grammar and style checker. So actually very important thing, this language tool, it support 20 plus languages, 20 plus natural languages, and it check the grammar, punctuation, and even the semantics, the meaning of the particular statement or sentence or whatever it may be. And it's act as a browser add-on and Google Docs integration and so on. And next to the Microsoft Editor. So the Microsoft Editor, the role of Microsoft Editor is it's a built-in writing assistant in Microsoft 365 applications. So that's why it provides the grammar and clarity indications seamlessly. It integrate with the Word that like Word, Outlook, or even Edge. Actually it's in the different browsers, and it's mainly useful for quick checks within the academic documents and so on. So actually the different use cases in academia. So whenever we talk about the different use cases in academia based on the language enhancement and grammar correction is nothing but here drafting the research paper, proposals, and even we go for the any thesis, and even the writing the conference abstract and presentation, and composing the professional email to the editor, collaborator, and institutions and so on. So that's about the language enhancement and grammar correction tool. And next thing is the AI in the research idea, AI in the research idea generation and the problem formulation. See, whenever we talk about the introduction about the AI in the research idea generation and the problem formulation, we know that AI has emerged as a powerful catalyst in the modern research, transforming the way the scholars and the innovators identify, the analyze, and even the frame the research problems and so on. So the traditionally the process of generating the research ideas and formulating the problem that mainly depend on the human expertise, the intuitions, and even the exhaustive literature review and so on. So that's why by identifying the any see, whenever we talk about the this AI in the research idea generation and the problem formulations, here through the advanced natural language processing, even the machine learning algorithm and the data driven analytics, AI can scan the large volumes of literature and detect the research gaps and predict the emerging trends and even predict the the novel interdisciplinary directions and so on. So using AI actually to explore the research gaps and trends. So here actually we are using a lot of tools. One of the most critical steps in the research research is identifying the gaps in existing knowledge and understanding the emerging trends. So that's why here the artificial intelligence it provide an efficient and intelligent solution to the problem. So here the AI powered tool, all the way it can process the vast repositories of the scholarly article, any kind of patents, the data sets to highlight the explored area and underrepresented the research questions and so on. So that's why here the NLP is another very important. So first the AI powered tools are using for exploring the research gap and trends. Second is the NLP technique. So the NLP technique, it all the way to enable the automatic extraction of any key concept, identification of the recurring themes, and the detection of missing link between the existing studies. So for example, AI-based literature mapping can reveal the area where the empirical evidence is scarce or where the contradictory findings exist. Thus, it all the way pointing to the potential research gaps and so on. So overall, the AI is act as a research accelerator, empowering the scholar to focus their effort on a meaningful and a timely investigation and so on. So second thing is a brainstorming the research questions with the AI support. So whenever the formulating the precise and impactful research questions is often one of the most challenging aspect of the research process. That's why a well-defined research question not only set the direction of the study, but also it ensures the clarity, relevance, and feasibility. That's why AI offer a valuable support in this stage by augmenting the human creativity with data-driven insights and intelligent suggestions. And the AI-driven brainstorming tool can analyze the vast bodies of academic literature, patent, and even the data sets to inspire the new lines of inquiry. And finally, the applying the NLP by applying the NLP and semantic analysis, the AI can identify the recurring the themes, emerging the debates, and unresolved issues in the field. That's why this helps the researchers avoid the redundancy and instead focus on unique and unexplored questions and so on. So, moreover, AI can generate the alternative perspectives by connecting the ideas across the discipline. So, for example, by mapping the concept from healthcare and data science, AI may propose a research questions that merge the clinical challenges with computational solutions. So that's why such cross domain brainstorming that encourages interdisciplinary innovation and widely the scope of inquiry. That's why the interactive AI platform also allow the researchers to input the initial keywords or the problem statement, after which the system expand them into the potential research questions and so on. So that's why by leveraging the AI for the brainstorming, the scholars can all the way draft the research question and that are original, impactful, and contextually relevant and so on. So next is a ethical consideration. So that's a very important whenever we go for any kind of what are the tools or anything, the ethical consideration is very important. Likewise, here the ethical consideration in AI-aided ideation is very important. So here, the integration of AI into the research ideation and the problem formulation that bring the immersive or immense what are the opportunities, but also the raises the important critical concerns. So that's why while the AI can accelerate the discovery and enhance the creativity, its use must be guided by the principles of fairness, transparency, and the accountability to ensure the knowledge it generates is both responsible and trustworthy. So the first one is a bias and fairness. So here the AI system is learned from the existing data sets, which may contain the biases or underrepresented the perspectives of any data. Second thing is originality and authorship. So here a core concern is determining the extent to which AI contribute to the originality of ideas and so on. The third one is the transparency and explainability. So here the many AI systems the function as a black boxes, making it unclear how certain ideas or connections are generated and so on. And fourth one is the over-reliance and critical thinking. So while AI can rapidly propose ideas, the over-reliance may weaken the human creativity and critical reasoning. And fifth one is the privacy and data security. So here the AI platform often process the large data sets, including the academic work, personal information, and property research, and so on. And next is the equity of access. So here advanced AI platforms may not be equally accessible to all the researchers due to cost, infrastructure, and the digital divides and so on. So that's why whenever the ethical consideration in AI-aided edition are not the obstacle, but it's a safeguards that ensure the responsible use of the technology in research and so on. So that's the thing. And next is a data collections and pre-processing with AI. So in that cases, in the era of data-driven research, the quality and reliability of outcome largely it's a depend on the way the data is collected and prepared for analysis. So the raw data, whether from the experiment, a survey, or any kind of digital platform or any sensors, is often incomplete, inconsistent, and even it's unstructured one. So that's why this makes the data collections and pre-processing a critical foundations of any research or analytical study. So AI has significantly transformed these stages by automating the repetitive task. So in that cases, the first one, generative AI for survey or questionnaire design. So here, the survey and questionnaires are the vital tool in the research for collecting any insights, options, and the data from the individual or any groups. So the traditionally this process is manual and it's a time intensive that involving the iterative drafting and expert review and so on. So that's why the generative AI is now provide a transformative way to streamline and enhance the survey design. So first one, automated question generation. So the automated question generation is nothing but here with the help of the any generative AI model, it trained on the large text corpora, or it can generate the well-structured survey questions. It's mainly based on a researcher's topic, keyword, and objectives. So based on users or based on the researcher's need or researcher's topic or a keyword given by the researchers or any objectives. Second thing is the ensuring the clarity and neutrality. So here, poorly phrased questions often introduce the bias or confusions. So here AI can refine the draft questions by rephrasing them into the simpler, unbiased format, ensuring that respondent interpret them consistently like that. So for that, that's the thing. And third thing is the personalization and adaptability. So in that case, the generative AI enable the design of adaptive questionnaire where the subsequent questions are dynamically tailored based on the respondent previous answers and so on. And next thing is a multilingual and cross-cultural support. So whenever we go for doing any survey, the survey mainly intended for diverse populations often require the translation and cultural adaptation. So that's why generative AI can automatically translate the questionnaires into the multiple languages while preserving the intent and adjusting for the cultural nuances or making some research more inclusive and accessible like that. And finally, validation and testing is also very, very important. That's why the generative AI act as a powerful assistant for in survey and questionnaire design, reducing the human effort while enhancing the clarity, fairness, and adaptability. And next is the AI assisted data cleaning and preparation. So we know the data is often called as a new oil, but in the raw form, it's a noisy, incomplete, and inconsistent. So before data can fuel that analytics, the machine learning or AI model, it must be cleaned or it must be transformed and structured properly and so on. So that's why the AI assisted data cleaning and preparation plays a vital role in that case. So the AI assisted data cleaning is nothing but it's all the way leverages the machine learning algorithm, natural language, NLP, and automation techniques to identify correct or remove the inconsistencies, errors, and redundancies in the data sets. So unlike the traditional rule-based cleaning, AI system learn from the pattern in data, making them adaptive, more scalable, and less error-prone, and so on. So the key task in the AI-driven data preparation is nothing but the first data duplication. So data duplication is nothing but detecting and removing the duplicate entries using the similarly measures tools. And second thing is the error detection and correction. So all the way to identify the anomalies, some kind of typos or the inconsistencies and proposing the corrections automatically. Third one is handling the missing value, and fourth one is standardization and normalization. So the standardization normalization is nothing but ensuring the uniform format. Like whenever we are using date or units or any category, it should be the numerical value or numerical format should be given in the uniform format. And next thing is outlier detection is nothing but leveraging AI to detect the unusual pattern. That's the thing. And next is the data transformation and integration. So it's automatically merging, mapping, and converting the data from heterogeneous sources into the usable format and so on. And next, actually synthetic data generation and its validity. So the synthetic data refers to the artificially generated data that mimics the statistical properties and pattern of the real world data sets without being a direct copy. So that's why it's created using the techniques like first one is a statistical modeling. So all the way the statistical modeling uses the random sampling and bootstrapping. And generative AI model, it uses the GAN model and the variational auto-encoder model. And the simulation engine, it uses the autonomous training or some robotic applications and like that. And next, the rule-based synthetic generation is nothing but generating the customer records with predefined descriptions and so on. So the applications of synthetic data is nothing but here the mainly actually it's AI, ML training, healthcare, finance, autonomous, and cybersecurity, and so on. So next thing is the automating the research writing with the generative AI. So the automating the research writing with the generative AI. So here the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence has transformed the way the knowledge is created, shared, and consumed across the discipline. So among these innovations, the generative AI has emerged as a powerful tool. It's mainly capable of assisting the researchers in drafting, refining the content, and enhancing the academic writing and so on. So here, the drafting abstract introductions and conclusions. So writing the abstract introduction and conclusion is often the most challenging part of the research writing, as these sections demand clarity, precise, and coherence to effectively communicate the significance of a study. That's why the generative AI offers a valuable support in drafting these critical components by streamlining the process and providing the structured guidance. So that's why mainly the abstract serve as a concise, the concise summary of any research work or research paper. It mainly highlighting the problem, methodology, findings, and some implications. So that's why in that case, the generative AI is help the researchers mainly for generating the multiple abstract draft by analyzing the paper's content and proposing the precise formulations and so on. And second thing is the introductions. So the introduction set the stage by defining the research for what are the research problem, and next is the outlining the background study and even stating the objectives. So from the introduction only we are we are coming with the research problem and background and some kind of objective. So that's why in that case the generative AI tools can assist in building a well-structured introduction by proposing the relevant context, synthesizing the background literature, and framing the research gap and so on. And third thing is the conclusions. The conclusion provide the closer by summarizing the finding, emphasize the contributions, and pointing toward the future research directions and so on. So that's why these are some of the tools that we are using it all the way for that. And next thing is the co-writing tools and best practices. So the co-writing tools here, the generative AI has introduced a new paradigm in academic and professional writing by acting as a co-writing partner rather than a mere text generator. So with the advanced NLP model, the researcher can collaborate with any AI-powered platform, mainly for drafting, refining, and polish the manuscript in an efficient and effective manner. So in that case, however, to maximize the benefit while ensuring the academic integrity. It's essential to adopt the right tool and follow the best practices. So the first, this is a co-writing tools. So the co-writing tools here, we are having AI writing assistants like ChatGPT, Jasper, or Claude. So it's mainly useful for generating the initial draft, paraphrasing, and improving the clarity. And the next co-writing tool is a grammar and style checker, example Grammarly and pro-writing aid. So the mainly it enhances the readability, tone, and adherence to the academic writing standard. And third co-writing tool is a reference and citation manager. So the reference and citation manager is example Sotiro and Mentally and the EndNote. It all the way to ensure the accurate referencing, mainly for the citation formatting and the bibliography management. And next thing is the collaboration platforms. The collaboration platforms like example Google Doc and Overleaf or Notion, it enables the real-time co-writing between the humans and AI with easy sharing and version control. And finally, plagiarism reduction tool. It's like example Turnitin and I authenticate. Yeah, actually, it's mainly safeguard the originality and ensure the compliance with any publication ethics and so on. So next thing is the best practices for AI assist co-writing is the first one is a human oversight is essential. So here, whenever we go for writing anything, the human oversight is essential. That's the AI generated content should always be reviewed, validated, and refined by the researcher. Second thing, it preserve the originality. So here, use the AI as a drafting and support tool, not a substitute for the critical thinking or augment development or unique insights like that. Third one is ensure the ethical use. So here, all the way we acknowledge the AI assistant where the required by the journal or institutions, and avoid the misrepresentations of AI generated content is independent research and so on. And next is the balance the automation and creativity. So it automate the repetitive task like the grammar checking, formatting, summarizations, while dedicating the human effort to interpretation, analysis, and originality, and so on. So that's the next iterative refinement and like that. And next, avoiding the over reliance and the maintaining the authorial voice. So here the first, the risk of over reliance on the AI. So the risk of over reliance on the AI is the loss of originality. And second thing is reduce the critical engagement. And third, there is a critical ethical concerns. And the next one is a skill erosion. And next, the strategy to maintain the authorial voice is nothing but use the AI as a support, not a substitute, and they inject the personal analysis and the interpretation. And next one is preserve the consistency in tone and validate the accuracy and relevance, and finally emphasize the intellectual contributions and so on. So this is about the different thing. And next to the AI in the plagiarism detections and very particularly in the academic integrity. So in that cases, very important thing, the role of AI in the plagiarism preventions. The plagiarism prevention is not only about detecting the copied material, but also about guiding the researchers toward the ethical writing practices. That's a very important thing. So that's why the AI play a proactive role by helping the scholars avoid the unintentional plagiarism, improve the originality, and even maintain the academic integrity throughout the writing process. So here the first one, the real-time feedback and originality check will be have done. Intelligent paraphrasing and writing assistant, and next citations and reference management is very important. And next the semantic and cross-language analysis, the promoting ethical and writing habits, and next finally the monitoring the AI generated content and so on. So that's about the AI in the plagiarism prevention. And next, the originality and authorship in the AI era is nothing but whenever the rise of the generative AI has reshaped the landscape of academic and professional writing, that raising the very important questions about what constitutes the originality and how the authorship should be attributed like that. So that's why in the AI era, however, the boundaries between the human creativity and the machine-generated assistants are increasingly blurred. Here, the first we have to redefining the originality. So in that cases, human-centered contribution is very, very important for redefining the originality. And AI is tool, not a creator. And actually, we are the creator. We are all the way. We are creating. We are going to create the any kind of research article. So that's just AI. It's only the tool, not a creator. So next to the new forms of the plagiarism concerns and like that. And next, the authorship in the artificial intelligence era is nothing but human accountability, acknowledge the AI assistant, preserving the authorial voice, and balancing the AI and human scholarships. These are the very, very important thing whenever we focus about the originality and authorship in the AI era. Then institutional policy, actually that also very important, institutional policy. So the institutional framework are very essential to ensure that AI enhances scholarship without any compromising the academic ethics, originality, or intellectual accountability. So first we have to introduce institution level policies on AI usage should be performed, should be done. It's like based on the disclosure agreement, requirement, authorship guideline, permissible or impermissible usage, training and awareness. And second thing, academic ethics in an AI era is nothing but all the way we have to preserve the originality and avoiding the misrepresentations and data privacy and the security, and finally the fair access and equity is very, very important. So this is the institutional policy and academic ethics. And the next, generative AI in the peer review and the publications. So in that cases, the mainly the AI for the pre-submission quality checks. So here, with the rise of AI-powered tool, the researchers now have access to intelligent system that can automate and enhance the pre-submission checking. The first one, the language and the grammar enhancement all the way. So here we are using AI writing assistant like a Grammarly, Bro Writing AI, ChatGPT tools, so on. And second, the plagiarism and originality verification. So in that case, we have to use Turnitin or I authenticate. And the reference and citation check, we have to use the Zotero, EndNote, Mentally, and so on. And the technical and formatting compliances and the readability and structural analysis also very, very important thing. And the next thing is the automated journal matching and formatting. So one of the most time-consuming challenges for the researchers is identifying the right journal for the submission and ensuring that the manuscript meet its formatting requirement and all. So in that case, to address this AI-powered tool for journal matching and automated formatting are increasingly being adopted in academic publishing. The first we go with the automated journal matching. So in that case, all the way you have to find the scope and relevance analysis, impact and ranking consideration of each and every journal, and historical data matching, and efficiency and strategy of that thing. So these are the thing very important whenever we go for finding the journal and formatting the content based on the journal. And second thing is automated formatting and compliance. So here the template adaptation is very, very important, and even the citation style also very important. Figures and table compliance is very important, and technical things checking also very important. And finally, multi-journal reformatting also very, very important. And next, enhancing the peer review process with the AI is nothing but here all the way we know the peer review is a cornerstone of academic publishing. It is designed to ensure the quality, originality, and scholarly work and other things. So that's why AI offer the transformative potential in enhancing the peer review process by streamlining the task, importing the review, supporting the reviewers, and even improving the overall efficiency and fairness. So in that case, first we go with the automating the routine check. So that's a very important thing. And second thing is assisting in quality and integrity assessment, supporting the literature contextualization, language and readability analysis, predictive and relevant scoring, and reviewer in support and matching, reducing the bias and improving the consistency, and so on. So the challenges, limitations, and different bias in the generative AI. Actually, here it's first it's understanding the model bias and misinformation risk is nothing but here this AI system are built on the large scale data sets collected from the book, article, websites, and digital archives like that. So the understanding of these risks is essential for using the AI in a more responsibly and in the research and academia context. So first one, training the data bias, algorithmic bias, and confirmation bias in the output, and domain specific bias like that. And next is actually the miscellaneous risk is hallucinations and outdated knowledge, overgeneralization, propagation, and false narratives, and so on. So these are the things about thing, and critical evaluation of the AI generated content. That's also mainly to deal with the accuracy and factual verification, assessing the contextual relevance, identifying the bias and representation, evaluating the logical coherence, originality and authorship concern, ethical and scholarly responsibility, and so on. So limitations in the domain specific accuracy is nothing but it's a dependence on training data and oversimplification of the complex concept, inaccurate use of the technical terminology, risk of fabricated and misleading references, leading ability, and so on. So the next, actually, it's the case studies and demonstrations. So we'll go with some case studies and demonstrations. So yeah. So the real world examples of the AI assisted research, some case studies are there. So the first case study, actually automated literature review paper and review and paper summarization. So the example, if you are a PhD student, if you are actually you are working on the blockchain based security model that uses the AI powered tool, so such as Elicit and connected papers, with the help of the Elicit and connected papers, to automatically extract, cluster, and summarize the latest research papers. So that's why this accelerates the identification of research gaps and help the structure the related work section of the thesis and so on. So that's why here we're using the two tools, so Elicit and the connected papers. And second thing is the any kind of code generation and algorithm prototyping. Example, whenever the researchers in the machine learning, mainly they use the Hiccup Copilot or ChatGPT with the code capability to generate the boilerplate code for the model training, hyperparameter tuning, or the data pre-processing. That's why the AI assists in debugging and proposing some optimization that are mainly enabling the faster prototyping of the experiment while researchers validate the efficiency and correction. Third one is the data analysis and simulation. Here, all the way we are using the AI assisted Python environment like Jupyter or AI plugins that mainly for helping the generating statistical analysis, simulating the attack scenarios and visualizing network traffic and so on. And next, the plagiarism detection and originality. What the assurance is nothing but an example. Here we are using the IEEE that or ASIM journal use the plagiarism detection tool like iAuthenticate or AI-based semantic checker for ensuring the originality and so on. And next, journal matching and formatting the automation. In that case, the example we are using, we are finding the journal finder tool like Elsevier Journal Finder or typeset.io. It's for identifying the suitable journal based on the manuscript keyword and then automatically format the paper according to the IEEE or Springer guidelines and so on. And AI in the peer review assistant, here also we are using some tools for mainly for the peer review assistant and the knowledge dissemination and beyond the academia work, that also all the way it is happening with the help of that. So that's a very important thing. And the tools, so we are using a lot of tools are there. So the like the tool demo, the first one is a ChatGPT. So this is a link. So actually the tools, it may be both web based and mobile app, web app and mobile app tools are available. So you go with that either mobile app or web app. So here I am focusing about the web app link. So the ChatGPT, mainly the main purpose is nothing but it's AI powered conversational assistant for writing, coding, and brainstorming and explanations. So the link is chat.openai.com. And next thing is Elicit. Elicit, the main purpose of Elicit is a AI research assistant that can help the automate literature review. That's a link for that. And third one is a research rabbit. So the research rabbit is mainly for visual literature mapping and research recovery discovery tool. And Cite is another tool. It's mainly for visual smart citations and other thing. So these are some of the tools actually we are using it. And the future directions and best practices. So whenever we go for focusing about the generative AI or any kind of this AI for mainly for the scholarly publications or some other thing. Here the very important thing, the the future directions, AI literacy in academia, standardized guidelines, ethical AI development, human AI collaboration model, interdisciplinary integration, and so on. And another very important thing, this is a very important thing, the best practices for the responsible AI usage is nothing but always verify the output. So always verify the output is nothing but we have to cross-check the AI generated content with the peer-reviewed sources. Do not fully depend on the AI for the citations, data, or any factual claims. That's the thing. Second, acknowledge the AI assistant. So mention AI tool used like ChatGPT, Elicit, or Site in the methodology or acknowledgement. That's another way. And third one, maintain the academic integrity. So use AI for the support, not for entire content creations and so on. And fourth one, protect the data privacy. Never input the sensitive or unpublished research data into the unsecured AI platforms. Fifth one, balance automation and critical thinking. So here stay updated on new AI research tools and best practices and so on. So these are the, and the next thing is a continuous learning is also very, very important. So these are the best practices to be followed while using any kind of what are the generative AI tools, very particularly for writing articles and so on. So finally, generative AI has opened the new possibility in scholarly research, streamlining the literature review, enhancing the writing, enabling the rapid ideation, and uncovering the connections that might otherwise it remain hidden. Its potential to accelerate the discovery and democratize the access to knowledge is undeniable. However, the responsible integration is essential. The scholars must approach generative AI as a collaborative assistant. It's not a substitute, and the leveraging its strength while preserving the rigor, originality, and ethical responsibility that define the true scholarships and so on. So by upholding the transparency, verifying the output, and protecting the integrity, we can ensure that generative AI becomes a catalyst for innovation rather than a challenge to the academic trust. In essence, integrating the generative AI into the scholarly practices is not just about the efficiency. It's about shaping a future where the technology amplifies the human intellect in the pursuit of knowledge and so on. So with this short note, just I conclude my session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for making this session so interesting and informative about various tools and opportunities in Gen AI. I'm sure today's session will spark curiosity in all of us and encourage us to explore the power of AI in our own research journey, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any questions?
Participants, do you have any queries? Kindly put it in chat box or unmute your mic and ask.
Yeah, what limitations should the researchers keep in mind while depending on AI for statistical analysis or research? Yeah, actually, frankly speaking, whenever we go for writing any research article, the mainly for that's why I am not at all mentioned anywhere in that statistical analysis and result interpretation, because the statistical analysis and result interpretation part is the primary scope, the role of a researcher. So that we have to all the way we have to do it with the help of tools. But that the generative AI tool is mainly for getting the introduction and some literature survey and some other formatting tool and some other thing. And the result and analysis part we have to do it. That's a very, very important. So don't rely on any generative AI tool or anything. So it's based on the researcher. It can be varied. So don't rely on that. Other part is very important, like whenever we go for a literature survey or whenever we go for anything, any data set or anything, we may depend on that. But for this, never ever focus on generative AI.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, do you have any queries?
But as of now, only we are talking. Actually, all formatting we will do all kind of formatting. We'll do it with the help of the generative AI. So, what question? Can I use preprints in the literature review if I am not finding much latest journal paper related to my topic? Yeah, you can go with that. You get the detail from that. That also we can do it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Dear participants, is there any queries? Thank you once again, sir,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
for sharing your knowledge, time, and value insight with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Now we move on to the next session. On behalf of our department, I feel honored to welcome our resource person, Dr. S. Vimalanand, sir. At present, he is working as principal in number 1 certified non-autonomous college under the Pondicherry Central University. He experienced as principal in Sasuri College of Arts and Science, Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College, and RD National College. He has overall 22 plus years of experience. Obtained the qualification principal approval and Senate member of Bharatiyar and Periyar University. He have experience in lesson writers for distance education program for Periyar University and arranged various UGC sponsored and national level seminars and conference. He serves as a head of the department more than 10 years. He acted as a chairperson for the NAC sponsored seminars, chief invitee for national level conference in the university level. Reviewer for the syllabus setting for the autonomous institution and member of board of studies in autonomous college. Having an experience in AICTE, ASHE nodal officer work, application processing for NIRF. Now, with a great respect, I request our resource person to share his valuable insight with us. I handed over the session to Dr. S. Vimalanand, sir. Sir, the session is yours.
Hello, can you hear me? Madam,
Yes, sir.
please kindly permit me to view my
Yes, sir.
video. This is from your host side. Have to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think the host is disabled with my video. Please kindly access. Give me the permission to view my video.
Sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
Yes, madam, it's okay.
Sir, now you can.
Screen is in viewing. I think for
Yes,
is
sir.
it?
Yes, sir. Sir, screen not visible.
Yes,
Sir,
screen is
because-
not visible, but your side, I think so. Whether the accessing is given from your side, sir?
Okay, sir.
Sir, kindly
Please
share your
kindly
screen, sir.
permit me to accessing share.
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
No, I'm asking my video is not visible because I think so your accessing is not given exactly. Anyhow, I think I first of all I would like to thank the Congo Arts and Science College to take this great initiate workshop of 6 days online under the AICT training and language, that is the ATAL Academy. I just want to congratulations and thanks for the Congo Arts and Science College. Do you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Able to hear, sir.
Yes.
And your
I
slide
welcome
is
you all
doing
the
good.
participants, the faculty from the various colleges and from the students from the various institutions. First of all, I would like to thank the Congo Arts and Science College to taking this opportunity for the 6 days online faculty development program under the sponsorship of AECT, that is ATAL Academy sponsor. I personally also thank for Rudra Devi madam. She is inviting me for this session. I wholeheartedly thanks for the whole institution, principal, head of the department, and the coordinators for all the arrangements for doing this faculty development program. Let us go for this topic. Let us present our presentation. Hello, madam. Is it viewable, ma'am? Can I go for the presentation, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your screen is sharing, sir. And
Whether
let's move.
my voice is okay for you,
Audible,
whether the
sir.
audience is hearing my voice?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Yes, thank you for all. And let us go for this session. I just want to, it is very interesting session, and the era is an AI era. And now we are moving for an next gen chatbots. And the given topic for this session, for this faculty development program, for me is an next gen chatbots with the generative AI models. Listening to this topic, it is very interesting. And now we are in the era of AI. Almost the AI is replacing all the jobs, including in farming and moving towards medicine. We are working in that, and let us see the pros and cons. Actually, if it is some cons is there, we are looking into the pros, that what we are going to work. All we are behind the Department of Computer Science. I hope that we will look into that. So the topic is about the chatbot. You all know about the chatbot is a virtual agent that it simulates the human like the conversation, and using the artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and the machine learning is also to understand user the input and generate the appropriate responses. Unlike the older rule-based chatbots, AI is more powered, and chatbots use the larger language models, that is the LLM. That what we are going to do see in our topic for the next covering in my session to create the dynamic under the context aware and free flowing for the conversation, enabling them for handles the task in the customer service and marketing. Almost in all the servicing sector, it is going to replace by the AI. Also, the overarching the technology that allows the chatbots to learn and make its decision with the natural language processing, namely NLP, and natural language understanding, that is NLU, and the machine learning algorithm that helps the chatbots learn and improve the responses over the time based on data and the user interaction. Which we are going to see into the LLM that we have discussed, that is a larger language model, the sophisticated AI models that power the modern chatbots and allowing for more human-like and pronounced the conversation like the human. So let us go with this chatbot. It's a software, it is a software application, or it may be used as a web interface that it is designed to mimic the human conversation through a text or a voice interaction. Yeah, and it is going to play the vital role in all our life sector. So let us see what is the evaluation of the chatbots and how it evolved in the of our previous era. See, it can be divided. First, it is based on the rule based and the retrieved based, also known as a retrieved based. Now it is moving towards the generative and the multimodal. Say, for example, and the Siri and the Alexa and ChatGPT and Gemini. In some of these apps are only used for the Apple based, and some are used for an Android applications too. So here, let us see the rule-based and the retrieve-based generative of an multimodal. I already explained the examples are the Siri, Alexa, and ChatGPT and Gemini. The illustration of this figurative representation will illustrate you how the evaluation of the chatbots is starting from our retrieve-based model. You know, there is a differentiation between the retrieve-based and the generative AI models now. Also, the chatbots evolved from rule-based system, the generative AI and hybrid and agentic AI. It makes the differentiation. Also, it will look like an LLM that which I have already told you that is an larger language model. In a hybrid model of AI, AI is most often developed by the combining two or more types of AI approaches, such as symbolic AI and the machine learning. The neural networks and the knowledge graphs or deep learning and the reinforcements the learning. Is also the method of combining the statistical model to analyze the data and also the semantic based and provides the insight into the meaning. Like the ChatGPT and LAMDA enabled the more context aware the human like conversation. See, when you see the evaluation of this chatbot, there is a route mapping, how it is emerged and how now it is in the usage, how it emerged, that it is starting from a menu-based the chatbots, and it is again routed towards the rule-based chatbots. Then it is enhanced with a keyword recognized and the conversation of AI. And also now it is moved for a voice-enabled chatbots. It is a long history, how it is emerged from the chatbot. The next gen chatbot aims for the adaptability, reasoning, and the personalization. Also, the two research perspective is also that one I already explained you that it is a hybrid AI efficiency, and another one is an agentic AI, that is the autonomy of AI. Our previous session of Balakrishnan sir is clearly explained the AI model, how it is works, even in the plagiarism or whatever the sector that may be included. Considering this evaluation of the chatbots from rule-based to the generative AI. As I mentioned earlier, it is divided into the different evaluation from it is started from the rule based, and again it is a retrieve based, and then it is moving towards the generative and the multimodal. So accordingly, the rule based menu driven is an early chatbots limited to a pre-programmed responses. As we are the Department of Computer Science, we can easily understand in Java, there is a differentiation between the package and the user-defined package. In package, which it is already built in, we can use and retrieve only the data which it is already packed. For creating the user-defined package, we can create our own package likewise. That's the differentiation in the based on the rule-based chatbot. In the earlier chatbot, limited to the pre-programmed responses. It is only limited and it is a pre-programmed. The responses also in rigid navigation interaction was constrained by define the path. So it is the first level of an evaluation of the chatbot is about the rule-based. And when we are moving towards the artificial intelligence powered and the natural language program with integration, it is introduction of natural language processing and the machine learning improved understanding of the user input, that it may be on a text or it may be on a somewhat interaction with the human. That way, the introduction of natural language processing is integrated with this AI to make the more powered the chatbot. In that cases, also there is still lagged true conversational fluidity. Somewhat we are not can able to advance more in the NLP integration. When it comes to the level 3 of the evaluation of the chatbot is the generative AI chatbot. Madam, please, can you share the slide? Is a generative AI chatbots, and it is powered by the large language model, as I mentioned, that is LLP. It is a larger language model, example, the GPT-4, and it is powered with a larger language. In whatever it is differentiated with a natural language integrated. It is an advanced model. This powered by the large language model, it can be, say, with the example of GPT-4, these chatbots generate a dynamic and human-like and contextuality aware responses, evaluation, and the interaction. Although you can understand by this way, now the film industry and the media industry are showing the many wonders in the screen. Even the person is not available, they can able to make them to act on the screen, or they can make to on the screen because of by using the powerful AI of the generative chatbots. That is the differentiation of a larger language model when it is compared with the natural language. And this, the journey of chatbots has seen a dramatic shift from the basic automation to the sophisticated, that it is the differentiation in the emergency or evolving of the chatbot from the rule-based to the sophisticated, or it can also known as a large language model. The journey of this chatbot has seen a dramatic shift from basic automation to the sophisticated intelligence conversation agents driven by the continuous advancement in AI. So when we are coming to the architecture, of the chatbot, it may be works how it execute. Say for an example, if a user is want to interact with a chatbot, first the data is going to be retrieved from the customer dynamic prompt, or whether it may be a vector and database, or embedded, or it with a larger layer, or whatever the data is going to be retrieving from there is in the LLM architecture is given in this slide. Also, there is the user input, tokenization, embedding the layer, transform the layer, and response generation. The example is the GPT-4 is the pipeline example for a larger language model, that is LLM. It is an advanced model when it is comparative with the natural language model. And now we are working in the GPT-4, and it is advanced model. So the components are to be included for the core for the chatbot is as follows. There are the major 4 core components are given in the chatbots. The one is the natural language understanding, which it is known as NLU, and dialogue management, and natural language generation is to be stands for NLG, and a context memory for the dynamic conversation. These are all the 4 major components which it is to be included for a chatbot. And for this architecture of the chatbot, and as already given in the previous slide, is also in the detailed given of architecture is given and shown presented in this slide. A chatbot requires a candidate response generator and response selector to give the response to the user's queries through the text, images, and even now by voice. The architecture of the chatbot is shown in the given presentation slide with the user message, and it is to be double-sided interaction with the intent classification and the entity recognition. Madam, please previous slide itself. And this user message can be interaction with the intent classification and the intent recognition, which the intent and the entity is to be captured the data in candidate response to the generator or to the context of the data which the user want to interact, and the candidate responses and is the response selector, and it is moving towards the response we can get it from the ChatGPT. Also, it is illustrated about the advanced chatbot system architecture is also the same method. In addition to that advanced architecture, here the larger model of LLM is implemented, how it works and how it responds for our queries and how it is going to search in the database for particularly. Also, the generative of AI fundamentals. Now we are looking into the for any generative AI models. Let us go with the generative AI fundamentals. Madam, skipped for the two more slides. We are in the generative AI fundamentals. So it is in a pre-training stage that models learn the language pattern from a massive unlabeled data sets. 100 of billions of tokens can be issued in this database. And models and learn the language patterns. The fine-tuning stage, that it is the first stage, is known as a pre-training stage, and the second one is to be stands for fine-tuning stage. And it is the model adapt to specific the task through a supervised learning or smaller labeled data sets, which it is to be narrowed down. What's the queries that we are going to interact with in this model? We are going to adapt a specific task through supervised learning on a smaller. A reinforced learning from a human feedback is known as an RLHF, that is reinforced learning from human feedback, aligns the models with the human preference and reduces the harmful outputs. So it is fine-tuned. Again, it is fine-tuning the stage with RLHF, that reinforcement of learning from human feedback aligns the model. Likewise, an FAQ, that we are going to be maintaining a proper database through these FAQs. And according to the scaling laws, performance improves predictably with more parameters of data and computer until the emerging capabilities of appearing. The model types, or which it is now, it is in the functioning, is the foundation models GPT, BERT, T5, and versus the domain-specific models optimized for the vertical application, which it is illustrated in this diagrammatic flow, how it is fundamentals of generative. The first one is a pre-training or a massive data, and it is again into the fine-tuning for a specific data. Again, with it is aligned for optimization, that it is a reinforced learning from a human feedback models and the human preference and reduces the harmful effects or the harmful outputs. So, as I already mentioned, AI is into almost all the sectors. In all the life sectors, the AI is replacing now, including the farming and the medicine. Now we can take the three sectors, which how it is going to impact now, way that is healthcare and the finance and the education. So how the impact would be like in the healthcare sectors and the finance sector and the education. Coming to the healthcare, the symptoms triage, personalizing health assessment, and the patient engagement and medical knowledge system and appointment scheduling with 24/7 and accessibility. Hope that you all know there are a number of apps like the Prito that we can interrupt with that app for communicating with the doctors and the experts by 24/7. Likewise, it reduces the transportation and it reduces the revisits and it reduces the visiting the number of doctors. I think it is the app known as Practo. So it plays the vital role in the healthcare sector also. As I mentioned, the symptom triage and the database is stored with the multiple patient and with the data, collecting the data from the patients. And in the education, we know it is an adaptive tutorial system, personalized learning paths and language learning assistance and academic and the question and answers and the automated feedback on students' assignments. All they are easily now it is inapplicable and it involves in the education sectors. The finance section, how it create the impact in the finance section by this chatbot of generating AI, the personalizing the financial assistant, and it can work as an advisor for the investors and customer support I think most of us aware about that is mutual funding, and the mutual funding and the fund allotment is based on the artificial intelligence, not with the human. And according to the market level, the AI will make aware to about our fund, where we are into our mutual funding. Likewise, the financial, it plays a vital role, and it's personalized the financing assistance and investment of the advisors is also there. And also with the cross sectors and benefits, I already mentioned it's the cost reduction and 24 into bar 7 services availability, personalization at scale, and increasing user engagement through the natural conversation. So almost the AI and chatbot is entered into the all of our life sectors to it's applicable to its extent. And capabilities of the next gen chatbots is an overview. What are all the other capabilities of our next gen chatbots is generation of responses that reassemble the human interaction, which it is already in live and which we are using in the day-to-day applications, and awareness of the context throughout the extended dialogues, and support for the multiple languages. It's not limited for any language. We can convert into the multiple languages, and it's supporting for the multiple languages, and the translation services is also available. Expertise the specific domain through the fine tuning, as we mentioned, to narrow down the pre-training stage to the fine tuning stage. It gives the expertise in a specific domain, whatever the domain it may. It gives the expertise in the specific domain through the fine tuning model, and interactions that are sensitive to emotion and the sentimentals. Also, there is the interaction and the plugins, the tools such as the calculator and the web applications is also provided there. Let us see what is the generative AI. So what's the generative AI? The generative AI, like a chat GPT, uses machine learning to create a new content. So we can create a new content. The most of the researchers is also now look into this chat GPT for to get the references. The most research section, it is mostly widely used there and create for the new contents. The while generative, the AI tools can help to explore the new ideas and write text and get the feedback. There are important limitations to these tools to keep in mind. Almost nowadays, some of the the chat BT is used to listening the stories for the children's when they go for bed. And likewise, it gives almost all the information. It's almost like a human being to interact with that. Also, we can learn more the new how generative AI works on the LinkedIn Learning, and also the free for an MC master students. It plays the vital role in the education sector is also. According to the banking sector, it is conduct the essential for any banking activities, answering the frequently answering the questions, and provide the customer support for 24/7, and identify and resolve the suspicious activity. If there is any malfunctioning, it can alert us. And for facilitating the financial product application, as we mentioned, it acts as a resource that is source management for even for any mutual funding, and it promote for any reviews and feedback for all the banking sectors or whatever the life sectors that what we are applying for right now. So the generative AI, like the chat GPT, uses the machine learning to create the generation of machine learning. Sorry. Also, there is a challenging, whatever the key challenging in the generative chatbots are the hallucination. We know the hallucination is also the medical term that used, which it is an imaginary and producing the inaccurate information. When we are go for this generative chatbots, there are some few key challenges are there. To overcome these challenges, we are working for that with AI model. And some of the few key challenges are listed here, namely hallucination and bias, mirroring or detrimental or distorted of data trends, and context loss, because we can queries to the chatbot in some other context. It may be understand with some other context, and through such a database, it gives an irrelevant data for us. In that cases, the context may be lost. That is occurring is extended and the discussions. And overconfidence is also the one of the challenging in the generative chatbots, the appearing the certain while being incorrect. And ethical concern, deception or the false information. As I already mentioned, we can query the chatbots with some context, but it reply us with some other perspective of the context that which it is not understandable by very clear due to the lagging knowledge. In that cases, we can get some false information. So regulatory compliance, that is also the international data regulation, that which the regulation, we should regulate the data when we go for a nationalized the data. The parameters which it is supposed to metric the evaluation, its performance is based on the three methods. The one is a quantitative matrices, and the obviously it is qualitative evaluation. The third one is a human evaluation. These are all the three matrices, and how we can evaluate the performance of the chatbots is given listed here. The one is stands for quantitative matrices. Whereas the quantitative matrices are listed with the blue on rock, that is text overlap with the references. It may be a curve. And perplexity is a prediction of the confidence, and the response time, it may be a greater, somewhat greater in response time, that is the latency time. For the qualitative evaluation, it may be a coherence, that is a logical flow and consistency, and informativeness, that is a knowledge and accuracy, and engagement is a user satisfaction and matrices. Whereas the third one, performance matrices, the evaluation of the chatbot is the human evaluation, is a testing and user studies and expert rating, the crucial for an overall assessments here. When we go for an ethical consideration and bias in generative chatbots, we have to look into the following parameters, namely fairness, privacy, transparency, accountability, and mitigation strategies. I repeat, that is when we go for an ethical consideration and bias in generative chatbots, we should keep in mind the following parameters. The one stands for an fairness, second is an privacy, and third one is an transparency, fourth one is accountability, and last one is an mitigation strategies. Whereas the fairness is the data representation of imbalances lead to biased the responses, affecting the underrepresented demographic disproportionately. That is the fairness of data, we can get it. This is an ethical consideration. So the privacy, chatbot may be inadvertently memorize and reproduce the personal information from the training data. So the privacy is not guaranteed. So it is also one of the bias in the generative chatbots are considered in the ethical issues. It's a transparency, black box, that is the nature of a larger model of a language model, makes it difficult to understand the reasoning behind the generated responses. For accountability, to get the accountability of the data that what we have received, the clear the framework needed to responsibility when chatbots provides the inaccurate or the harmful information may be provided. And for the mitigation strategy, diverse training data, bias detection system, explainable AI techniques, and the human in the loop of oversight. Also, it is illustrated in the flow that how the ethical AI chatbot is developed with these following parameters as we discussed. And also the limitations and challenging is, as I already mentioned, the hallucination is also the kind of a medical term of model, that is generation of incorrect or the fabricated information that appears the factual. Context, the video, the limitation restricted the ability to process long-term context beyond the token limits. For the computational research, high processing and the memory requirements for deployment of this inference. These are all some challenging and limitation when we go for the generative AI model of the chatbots. The computational, high processing and the memory requirements for deployment and the inference. Domain adoption, difficulty in adapting to specialized domain without the extension of the fine-tune. When we go for the deployment, the integration with the existing system, real-time performance, and edge the computational limitation. There may be some challenging and limitation to bridge this gap of integration with the existing system, and real-time performance and edge computing limitation is also illustrated in this flowchart. Future direction and the research opportunity. And again, once again, remind our previous section, Balakrishnan sir is clearly explained about how the future of AI. Here it is also given some hint how the future of the directions and the research opportunities is a multimodal integration on knowledge grounding and the model efficiency, low resourcing languages, and ethical guardrails. These are all the future directions, and we can futurely enhance it for this generative AI model for the future directions and the research opportunities. For the multimodal integration, seamless incorporation of vision, audio, and tactile input for more immersive interactions. As we mentioned, there is a seamless incorporation of vision to audio and tactile inputs for more immersive interaction. We can go for any further studies in the research opportunity. And knowledge grounding is more sophisticated RAG techniques with real-time knowledge updates and the verifications. Model efficiency, the lightweight models for edge deployed and reduce the computational requirements in future. The models that it can be deployed for and to reduce the computational requirements, we can use the work in any future directions. Low resource language, extending the capability to underrepresented of language and the cultures. The ethical of guardrails and built-in frameworks for bias detection, fairness, and the transparency. These are all the future directions and the research opportunity where we can extend to move further. So let us see some, at least one case study and how it may take the impact and outcomes as we discussed the major three sectors of our life sectors, the healthcare and the finance and education. So generative AI use cases in the healthcare, finance and education, the multimodal LLM for the patient symptom triage and the education. Outcome is a 31% of reduction is unnecessary visit. I already mentioned likewise the Practo, even the Android app like Practo is reduced such a transportation and the multiple visits with the doctors in the healthcare sector. And it almost with the statistical is given, that is the outcome of 31% is reduction for the unnecessary visits of the doctors. In finance, that it is a RAG-based system for financial report analysis outcome. 70% is faster a document process when it is compared with the man processing. The sector of the financial, it supports up to the 70% of faster documentation in processing. The most mutual fund cases is also based on now the AI model. The fund allocation and the fund management is given for the AI models right now. And in education, it is personalized and the math instruction using the dialogue system. And it is also the outcome is given the 27% of improvement in the student outcome. Because the student is not necessary to attend one particular faculty classes, or he or she may involve any number of classes, or she can get the data from wherever the interaction session is going on with the chatbot and generative AI. With this overview, almost the 31% is the outcome of any healthcare, and 70% is in finance, and 27% are improvement in the education when the statistics is taken among the students. The fundamentals, which it is we already discussed, that it is a pre-training stage and fine-tuning stage and the reinforcement learning and the scaling laws and the model types. The core technology behind the next gen chatbots is the transformer architecture, enabling the deep contextual understanding of language, processing the entire sequence at once. As we discussed, the LLM is a large language model trained on vast datasets, provides the diverse of knowledge of generalized the conversational abilities. The semantic searches are integrates to understand the user, that is intent and the meaning, going beyond mere keyword matching for more accurate responses what the user exactly wants to know. And with this continuous learning, models are constantly refined their understanding and generation capability through the ongoing data exposure and the fine tuning. So key capability of generative AI chatbots is the natural conversation, multimodal input and output, personalized responses. In this case of the natural conversation, engaged in the fluid, contextually relevant dialogue that mimics the human interaction, enhancing the user satisfaction. Whereas it is in the case of multimodal input and output, process and respond across a various format, including it may be a text, voice, or image, or it may be a video, creating the richer interaction, which it is considered as a more advanced there with the natural conversation. When it comes to the personalized responses, it is tailored the interactions based on user profile, past conversation, and preference, and delivering highly relevant to the information. So nowadays, you can observe even with your mobile phones with the AI that what are all the things that what we discussed accordingly, we can get the ads, and according to the topics, we can get the information is and the personalized request that it is according tailoring to that user. It is based on the user profile and what he post conversation or she conversation, and this preference is delivering to the highly relevant information is given for this personalized response. When it goes for natural conversation, that it is a human interaction enhanced in a user interaction, whereas it supports for a multimodal input and the outputs. These advanced capabilities allows the chatbots to adapt and provide a more initiative and effective user experience. And when we go for enhancing that user experience with the semantic search, we know and we discussed about the semantic search. And when we go for the enhancing the user experience with this semantic search, the semantic search moves beyond keyword matching to the understand the true meaning and the context of the user queries. And deeper the understanding, the interprets, the intents, and the nonsense, and the relationship between the words that it may with the past conversation as we discussed previously. And knowledge-based integration and connects with the vast institutional data to ensure accurate and reliable responses. The enhances accuracy, reduces the irrelevant results, leading to more precise and helpful the information. This capability is crucial for complex domain like the higher education, as demonstrated by system like Bot, which leverages enriched the knowledge bases. So when we go for enhanced the user expertise with the semantic search, it supports for a deeper understanding and for the knowledge-based integration, enhanced accuracy, and also the capability is crucial for the complex domain like the higher education, and it's demonstrated by system like the Bot, and which leverage enriched knowledge bases. Also, there is the limitation and challenges in deploying the next gen of chatbots is illustrated here in the term of computational demand, in the term of ethical and bias management, and the scalability and adaptability. Generative AI requires significant processing power and can lead to latency issues for real-time interaction. Whereas in the case of ethical and bias management, ensuring fair unbiased, and non-toxic output remains critical challenges due to training data complexity. These are all in the bias management, which we faced as a challenging when we deploying the next gen chatbots. When we go for the scalability or for its adaptability, designing a system that can scale efficiently and adapt to rapidly changing user needs and informations is more complex. So these are all the major terms of challenging in deploying the next gen chatbots. Addressing these challenges is vital for the success and responsible integration of generative AI chatbots into daily operations. So it is very clear the innovations and driving of the future of chatbots, advanced multimodality. That is, the chatbot will seamlessly combine the voice, visual, and contextual sounds for richer interaction similar. And persistent memory, real-time personalization on long-term memory of past interaction will enable truly continuous and intelligent with the conversation. Next gen network integration with the leverage of the 6G and the other advanced networking will provide the ultra low latency. It reduces the latency time and to unparalleled with the reliability for the instant response. That it is the major advantage of by using this next gen network integration. When we go for the leveraging of 6G and the other advanced networking will provide us for an ultra low latency, that is latency time will be reduced, that is the response time will be increased, and the unparalleled reliability for the instant responses for our queries. And proactive assistance, chatbot will anticipate user needs. As we discussed, it follows us that what we continuously searching for and what we with our past conversation, that it is chatbot will anticipate user needs and offering the assistance before being explicitly asked, transforming reactive support into proactive guidance. This may be the future of our chatbot with an advanced multimodality, persistent memory, next-gen network integration, and proactive assistance. With this study of case, let us go the chatbot in a higher education. As we discussed the GPT-4, that it is more powered, utilize the latest generative AI for deep understanding of student queries and announced responses. The semantic search integration combines with the institutional data and university policies for higher accurate and relevant answers. Personalized support provide the tailoring. As we discussed, it is the academic administration or general information to the students for 24/7. Seamless the human hand-off, the intelligent routing to human staff for complex or sensitive inquiries and ensuring the comprehensive support you. The major part of the education sector is plays a vital role. Whereas it is just a statistics is given the market and the impact overview is about to expected growth of 23% till 2030 and high adoption in education, healthcare, retail, customer, and finance sector. These are all the major sectors apart from all the sectors which the AI of generative AI chatbots is going to play the vital role, which it is also the high adaptability is also taken for the education, healthcare, retail, and customer supports. The which the following diagram is illustrated of adopting by the industry sectors, how it would be in the 2030, that is 2030. Also, there is a head of generative AI chatbot. Generative AI is not just chatbots, it's a redefining the human-computer interaction. So it plays a vital role, how the human is previously interact with the computer system, and now it is entirely going to different the human, how he is going to interact with the AI and including the chatbot. They are revolutionizing communication with natural adaptive dialogues, ongoing advances promise the expanded multimodal capability and deeper personalization and ethical AI, the increasing in probability of usage of scalability and the robust securing remain key focus area for sustainable growth, which we are going to rock in future with the application of AI. And with this note, I just giving the closing session of my presentation is about the generative AI of the chatbots. With the following, the references is taken and it is listed in my slide for this presentation is given. So let us go for the interaction session of this next-gen chatbots with the generative AI model. With this note, I bringing end of my session. Madam, are you in online, ma'am? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I couldn't get you, ma'am.
Sir, we are here only.
Okay. Can we go for the session of queries and we can wind up the session with this presentation, madam?
So we can ask the queries. For 2 to 3 minutes, we can ask the queries, sir.
Yes, madam, please.
Dear participant, is there any queries? You can ask.
Participants, any queries you can ask.
Dear participants, do you have any queries? Kindly put it in the chat box. So there is a question in chat box. Kindly explain about perplexity, sir.
Yes, perplexity. Yes, perplexity is a free AI powered that answering the engine that provides the accurate and you can trusted and real time answering to the any questions. It is accountable that what the data, whatever it may queried you, Perplexity provide you the authenticated or trusted data providing you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you differentiate next-gen chatbots from traditional rule-based chatbots?
Pardon, madam?
Differentiate between next-gen chatbots and traditional rule-based
Chatbot
chatbots.
that it is going to advanced model. As I already explained, we are moving from a rule-based to yes, we are moving from rule-based to that is rule-based is a predefined. Various now moved to a natural language. In future, it is moving toward the larger language model. Also, it is going to more accurate and personalizing the data, and our latency time will be reduced, and the response time is higher, and we can get the exact data almost it is going to deployed in all the our life skill streams, including the healthcare and education and finance sector.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, the other question, In what way can multimodal AI, with the example of text, voice, and image, it enhances the effectiveness of chat boxes?
Pardon, madam?
In what way the
Multi-
multimodal AI enhance the effectiveness of chatbots? In what way the multimodal AI enhance the effectiveness of chat boxes?
Okay. You are asking about the multimodal, no?
Yeah, sir. In what way the multimodal enhance the effectiveness of chat boxes? That is the image, video, voice, and all, etc. How
Yes,
it will be enhanced, that one?
Yeah, it is given in the future direction of a research opportunity for a multimodal integration. It is a seamless incorporation of vision and audio or tactile to inputs to more immersive interactions, not only a text or not only a voice or not only a video. It takes a near future, it will be directed towards a more seamless incorporation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, another one query from participant Indra, sir.
Okay.
How to include chatbot in our website?
How to?
How to include chatbot in website?
Sir, I couldn't get you clearly, sir.
How to
Sir,
include?
how to include chatbot in website?
Okay, still I
Sir,
think we
how
are
to
working, moving
include
towards that.
chatbot in website?
Yes, I can understand. So in some, I think we are working towards in that future. Let me refer and I'll tell you. Okay, you just put it to the message box. I'll tell you regarding this.
Okay, sir. Nice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for showing us how generative AI is not just a technology, but a spark for future innovation. Also, we're grateful for opening our minds to the limitless possibility of Gen AI. We truly value your time and expertise, sir. Thank you so much.
Once again, I thank you, the Congo Arts and Science College, and all the coordinators and the principal and the department, especially Rudra Devi Madam, providing me this opportunity to present the session in the ATAL Academy. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, Malayan sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we move on to the next session. On behalf of our department, I extend a warm welcome our resource person, Mr. Akshay Kumar Bixwal. He is a senior software engineer with over 7+ years of experience in building scalable and impactful applications. He has LED React JS trainings, optimized enterprise grade solution for performance, and contributed to projects that directly powered business growth. Now, expanding expertise into cloud and DevOps, he continues to stay ahead by embracing next-gen technologies. Today, he will share insights on building and future with next-gen AI, a journey into how generative AI is transforming the way we develop, innovate, and imagine the future. Now, I hand over the session to Mr. Akshay Kumar sir. The session is yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm audible. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes. Let me share my screen. I think it's visible now.
Yes, sir, visible. Your screen is visible.
Okay. Okay. Then let's start. Thank you for being here. Today's session is about something that is changing the world around us very quickly, which is generative AI. This whole session is divided into 3 parts. The first part is definition and some real-world examples of Gen AI, how we are using it currently. And the second part will be how we can use it. and the third part will be career and future. Okay, so let me introduce myself. I am Akshay Kumar Bishwa, Senior Software Engineer. I have worked with AI in real world projects, and I am excited to share how it's being used in industries, creativity, and everyday life. Okay, by the end of the session, I want you to see AI not as a distinct technology, but as a tool you can actually use it in your career and day-to-day life. Okay, we will try to make this session a little bit interactive.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
okay, let's go with the first slide. So let's begin with the fun question. What's the coolest AI tool we have used or you have ever heard of? Anything? I think there are more than 2 sessions that you have already attended. So maybe any of the tools you can say the name. Okay, let me answer it out. So if you talk about ChatGPT, students use it to write essay, generate code, and prepare for interviews. Mid journey, it shows how AI is becoming an artist too. Uh, Funny AI memes. AI is already around us, but generative AI takes it further. It can create brand new things, poems, images, videos, and even films. Okay, let's start with the definition first. What is generative AI? So the first thing is generative AI gives creativity to everyone. Sorry, AI means machine that can think, the first one, AI one, and the ML machine that can learn, generative AI machines that can create. Okay, it's just an analysis patent. It's creating text, music, art, code, even designs. Think of it like an autocomplete on steroids, but it instead of finishing a word, it can finish your story. Previously, before I think this generative AI terms, previously we were using Grammarly, these sort of things. What happened at that time when we type something, if there are any grammatical mistakes or anything that, then it can rectify the words. It cannot even type an whole essay for us. But currently you can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini to write an whole essay or poem or even a script within an hour or as soon as possible. Depends on your prompt. Okay. So it's like generative AI is like giving a machine a blank page and it fills it depending upon your requirements. The first one, it's like generative AI is thinking. The second was ML is learning, and the Gen AI machine, it's like creating. Okay. Uh, so this is the fourth slide. Why Gen AI matters? Generative AI gives creativity to everyone. You don't need to be an artist to make an art or coder to build a whole software. It speed up your innovation. What used to take companies months, AI can help achieve in days. Okay. Most important, the future of work is not humans versus AI. It's human and AI working together. Okay. For example, a student build a resume with AI in just 5 minutes, or he can start up design a product prototype faster. In the software also, we used to call as that MVP, minimum valuable product, that we can build within few weeks. Previously, is going to take 2 or 3 months to do all sort of things, but currently we can do these sort of things very quickly. Means 2 3 months or 2 3 weeks only. Okay. Let's take few of the real world examples in which sectors say generative AI is helping currently. First one is the film and entertainment. Movies use AI more than we think. Marvel used generative AI for de-aging of Captain Marvel, as we also known as Nick Fury. Star Wars recreated Skywalker with AI. The Lion King use AI for realistic environments. Previously, these sort of things are used to uh, help of green screen and animation, these sort of things. But currently, with the help of simple prompts and AI, they can use it. They can achieve it. Okay. In Tamil cinemas also, Rajnikant voice in Kulli was AI modified to sound younger. And currently, Tamil Nadu is also building a 3,000 crore AI film city, combining their traditional filmmaking with AI. So the next blockbuster you might watch have AI behind the visuals, effect, and sounds. Also, Netflix is also using generative AI to use some sort of actions and adventure shots, so they can reduce the cost of a film, these sort of things. So in this sort of so in film and entertainment industry, the AI using is generative AI using is widely used. The second one is education. AI is changing classroom too. In Tripura, AI aspirational board shows kid as future doctor and pilots, motivating them towards their studies. So how they are looking themselves as a future doctor or future engineer, these sort of things. In Nagpur, kids explore solar system using AI and VR. Previously, these sort of things are we only learned using textbooks and these sort of things. But currently they are using AI and VR to explore the solar system in 3D. IIT Hyderabad built an AI tool called Adivani that let the tribal students learn their mother tongue. Okay. And close to your home, Tamil Nadu, TNS Park brings AI to coding to 72 government schools. This prepares students for the future. We can also visit their websites to get this Gemini AI free subscription, these sort of things. And you can learn these sort of things, generative AI. So we have covered film and education. Let's go to the finance. HDFC Bank has an AI chatbot EVA that answers millions of questions instantly. JP Morgan uses AI called Coin that review contracts, saving 360,000 lawyer hours, which is a huge cost for them. BlackRock's AI engine manages trillions of global assets. Paytm uses AI to detect fraud in real time. How this works is like, for example, a current account is normally using 5,000 per day. So instantly, if the transaction is more than like 50 lakhs or 40 lakhs, then there can be an fraud, right? So at that point of time, it detects by the AI so that they can prevent it. Okay. If we talk about if we do these by human, then it can't be possible, but AI can do it. So from the banks to fintech startup, AI is reshaping the money and the business both. This is the last one in the real world example. Law and governance. AI is even entering courts and government. The Supreme Court of India uses SUVAS to translate judgment into Indian languages. There are multiple languages, 15 or 16 mainstream languages are there. So they use AI to translate the judgment into these sort of these all of the languages. Government, Delhi High Court test AI for suggest punishments. In the US, Do Not Pay is a chatbot called the Robot Lawyer that helps people fight parking tickets. Okay. Estonia even tested a robot judge for small cases, small one, not the critical one. In India, the Bhashani platform translate government services into many languages. For example, we have created a website which is in English language, but we have to translate in many regional languages like Tamil, Odia, Telugu, this sort of things. So they can use it. So AI in law is not about replacing judges. It's about making justice and governments faster and more accessible to the people. Okay. Now we will see how we can use it for all. So applications in art and creativity. Artists use AI to generate blogs, poetry, and scripts. Musicians use AI to compose original songs. Designers create posters, videos with AI tools. For example, a student design a college feast poster can generate 10 different variations of a single poster within just 30 seconds, which is incredible. If we go to, this is art and creativity. If we go to applications in engineering, coders use Copilot to write in debug code quickly. Doctors use AI-powered robots for diagnosis and surgery assistance. Financial engineers use AI to predict market and manage risk. Researchers use AI to test new drugs. Engineers become faster and more precise. Engineering become faster and more precise with AI. So these sort of things are currently happening in engineering and their applications. The second one is yes, the new way of creating and learning and working. So generative AI breaks the boundaries between fields. Previously, engineering field is different, medical field is different, education field is different. But what happens in the boundaries are being broken by the AI. In gaming, it creates world and stories that changes with your choice. Which character we play, depending on that, the whole world and the story is getting changed. In the field of education, it personalized lessons to assign with each student's learning pace. For example, there is a teacher and he has like 300 students, so he can't give them on their choice, like which lessons should be learned first and which lessons should be learned in the second phase based on the student interest and the pace. But AI can do that. Okay. So this also happening. In filmmaking, we have already seen it helps directors with script and the storyboard. In businesses, it predicts customer needs and healthcare. It suggests treatments and saves doctors' time. So if we talk about, I think this is the most important slide that we are here. Careers in generative AI. New jobs are emerging. AI developer, prompt engineering, AI ethics specialist. Existing jobs are being enhanced. Teacher, doctor, lawyer uses AI as assistant. Freelancers can now build logos, website, campaigns using AI tools like Midjourney and Runway. For example, a single freelancer can today produce a full marketing campaign with what earlier needs to a whole agency, right? So if we talk about prompt engineering, it's nothing like it's like you have to ask questions smartly to get the answers, to get the best answers. See, the thing is, I have the ChatGPT access, you have the ChatGPT access, but the answers will be differ. It depends how we ask the questions. If I am asking questions on basis of my knowledge, then the answer will be different. If you are asking questions based on your understanding, understanding or knowledge, then your answer is going to be different. Okay. Ethics specialist is like AI should be ethical and the answers should be safe. It's not like it's giving some random answers, some unethical answers, these sort of things. If you ask AI any sort of political questions, then this answer should be biased and this answer should not bias, right? So these sort of things, jobs we have currently. Startup and freelancing, we have already seen that AI tutors are there, AI business tools are there, consulting things, these sort of things are there. So let's go to challenges and risks. But AI also, just a second, yes. AI also has dangerous. It can create deepfakes, fake videos, or people saying things they never said. It can copy human bias, leading to unfair outputs. It can misuse personal data. This is why human judgment is essential. AI tools should assist, not control. Okay. Let's go to the next slide, which is safe use. The left one is for government and private sector companies. Those are those are building AI, and the right side was how we can use it. Okay. First one is the strong rule. Governments and companies should make clear laws and policies for safe AI use. Second one is fact checking. Always check AI made content before using it, especially news, images, videos. We should check the original resource where its uh, data or this sort of things are coming. Bias testing, regularly test AI system to see if they are being unfair or mix them. Okay. Data safety, protect personal data and make use of AI, does not copy or misuse it. Human control, keep people in change of final decision, not AI alone. The final uh, checkbox should be with human only. Okay. Safe AI use rules for student. Always double check. Don't trust AI answers blindly. Confirm with books or teacher. Don't share your personal information. Never give AI your phone number, address, or school details. Use for help, not cheating. AI can help, but you must do your own homework. Check for bias. Remember, AI can be wrong or unfair. Think before you accept. Ask a teacher or parents if you are unsure. Always give guidance when you feel confused about AI answers. Okay. Think of AI is like a calculator. It's powerful, but if you really blindly accept it, you will miss understanding the basics. So you must understand the basics first. After that, you can use it. So let's go to the next slide. Getting started. Your generative AI guide. How can we do that? First is the essential tool. Second is the learning resources. And the third one is the project idea. How do you design? How do you begin? Start with tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Midjourney, these sort of things. Learn from communities like Coursera, Hugging Face, Kaggle, these sort of things. Try small projects, a poetry collection, a short AI made film, or a chatbot. It's not about only engineering. A poetry collections anyone can do. AI short film, anyone who have creative ideas, they can also do. So the future human plus AI collaboratively. AI will not replace humans. Be creative, not just consumers. It's only a tool that helps us work faster and smarter. The future belongs to people who use AI wisely, not to AI alone. AI can't do things alone. Okay. There is always a human interactions. Anyone has any questions, you can ask. Or you want me to explain these slides, I can. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone has any questions, or I have few questions I can ask? We can discuss. See, let's go few of the basic questions of generative AI. How is generative AI different from normal AI? Normal AI uses usually analyze data or predict outcomes. Generative AI goes one step further. It creates new content like music, code, art, these sort of things. I have already discussed that AI can create images, text, scripts, poems, these sort of things. So, is there any copyright issue as of now? So, if you talk about this, AI learns from used datasets, including art, music, and code. It doesn't literally copy, but it does learn styles and patterns. So that's why copyright is a currently a hot topic. Laws are still catching up it. The safer way to see it, use AI as a helper, but we should respect the original creator, or the credit should goes to the original creator. I think the slides, so maybe here, right? So we can use AI for studies, right? So if AI is so powerful, why should we even study? If we can do all of the things for us, then why should we study? So the answer can be like AI can give you answers, but it does not replace understanding. So at the end, critical thinking is there, calculations are there. So as a human being, there is an interruption. So you have to work on that. So we have to learn the basics first. After that, we can use AI as an helper, and we can boost our productivity. We have already discussed about the careers in the use of generative AI. So what if AI takes away all the jobs? So it will not take all the jobs. The question should be, will we learn to use AI so we can stay valuable? Okay. So the best example is internet bubble that we have. Most of them have already listened to that I think 10 or 15 years back, internet is so much popular that it killed most of the jobs. But after that, there are more jobs like app developer, YouTuber, digital marketing. These sort of things has came up. So now the AI is there. AI will, after a few years, these sort of jobs that we are currently seeing can be on trend. Okay. So is it AI for only for the engineers? Is it about the art students or commerce students, this sort of things? How they can be help them? Mm. AI, art and creativity, where generative AI shines the most. So AI can help writers create stories, artists to make designs, musicians to compose songs, marketers to build campaign. So the future is not just coding; it's creativity and technology. So anyone can use it. So how can we check that a video is a deepfake? Normally, we can check the lip sync, straight lines, fact check from prostate associate, these sort of things we can do. Okay. So,
Dear participants, any queries?
any
Kindly
query?
put it in the box.
Anyone has any queries? Then we can start. I
Sir,
think,
good evening, sir. Am I audible?
yes, you are perfectly audible.
Mm. Sir, we have a query from YouTube chat box. We have a live on YouTube. So I got a question from there.
Okay.
Sir, what are the safeguards that we need to ensure the originality and avoid plagiarism when using AI tools?
Can you repeat it?
Sir, what safeguards are need to ensure originality and avoid plagiarisms when using AI tool?
Using AI tools, we have to check the authenticity, like the original resource where the data is coming. We have to check the authenticity first. If usually what AI does, it normally doesn't lie. It just that it tries to catch the future patterns or your answers based on the data he has already what I say already prompted with. So we have, if any of the answers coming from the AI, then we have to check the authenticity first, the original resource where it getting these sort of answers, what set of data the AI is using to currently generate the answer. You have to use these sort of things. And if you talk about the testing one, then regularly we have to, if you are modeling an AI from our own, not using any sort of third party AI like ChatGPT and other things, then we have to check if we have modeled any of the AI on our own, then we have to check that authenticity, like which sort of data AI is taking.
Sir, thank you so much for the explanation.
Yes. Anyone?
Sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Sir, can you audible?
Yes, yes.
Sir,
Yes, you're audible.
sir, are you audible, sir?
Am I audible to everyone?
Sir, can you say how Gen AI will reshape industries in next 5 to 10 years?
In which sector?
Sir,
Hello, everyone, am I audible or am I not audible?
Sir, yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir, you're
sir,
audible, sir.
so now you can audible.
Can anyone reply to her?
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, another one query in a chat box. How to add voice to a chat box?
Just a second. Where the chat and the sort of things are there.
So how do we add a voice to a chat box?
How to add
Voice to a chat box.
voice to a chatbot?
Yeah.
There has to be an option, right? Like if you're using any sort of chatbot, then there has to be an option to upload a file. So
Sir,
that yes.
sir, we are creating a new chat bot. How to add the voice chat?
Sorry. In that case, I don't know. I'm not using AI as in Scratch.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, another one query.
Yes.
How do we include chat box to our websites?
You can use Bedrock and this sort of AWS uh, query AWS chatbots. Again, you can access to the data to your data to the chatbots, and after that you can include that. Have you ever heard of Bedrock? AWS service is there. You have to give your database and PDF images, anything you have in your data. You have to train the chatbot model depending on your data, and after that you can ask queries.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Sir, we have another question from YouTube channel.
Okay.
Sir, in what ways is generative AI differ from traditional automation tools?
Okay. Traditional automated tools normally uses AI to predict outcomes. Okay, you have certain set of data like PDFs. You have all the students' details. You have PDFs, and You train a AI model based on the PDFs or data you have, and the outputs are based on that. But generative AI, as the name suggests, generating content like creating images, creating scripts, music, these sort of things. So traditional is a AI is a different thing, and generative AI is a totally different thing. Traditional AI is only giving answers based on your data or inputs. But generative AI is creating images or creating videos, codes based on your input. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, is there any tool for creating videos using generative AI?
Yes, you can use View 3. I think Gemini has an tool called View 3. You can create videos up to 1 minute. For students and teachers, I think currently it's available for free for 1 year. You can create videos on that.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, my video is off.
Dear
Yes.
participants, do you have any queries? Kindly unmute and ask or put it in a chat box. Dear participants, you have any queries? Kindly put it in chat box or you can unmute and then you can ask.
Any other queries from participant side?
I think we're
Thank
done.
you, sir.
Questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, all of them.
Thank you, sir.
Have today gave practice and inspiring ideas about AI.
An important announcement to the participants. Please stay tuned.
Participants, for generating the certificate, you should attain 80% of attendance and 70% of mark in test. Repeating again, you should if you want to generate the certificate, you should attain 80% of attendance and 70% of mark in test assessment today. And another one invitation for you. I humbly request you to join at 5:45 p.m. for the valedictory session. It will be taken within 50 minutes only. After that, you'll be able to take the test. So I humbly ask all of the participants for patiently listening, and also you have to come and join for the valedictory session at 5:45 p.m. We will be over at 6:15 p.m. So all of you join in 5:45 p.m. for the valedictory session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
A kind announcement. The attendance link will be shared in the validity session. Kindly join by 5:45 p.m.
Dear participants, kindly you log in at 7:45 p.m. in ATAL portal and then appear your examinations as per like this. Go to the Attendance tab and check your attendance and fill your feedback. Go to the assessment tab and select the FDP from September 1 to September 6. Application ID 1748241372 and appear your assessment test. Then you can see your test marks and then you can download your certificates. Before generating the certificate, check your name, destination, college name in your general details. After generation of certificates, you cannot make any corrections or change in your certificate. Participant kindly note, before generating certificate, check your name, destination, college name in your general details. After generation of certificate, you cannot make any correction or change in your certificate. Hello.